the Accelerator group. 10 people, 4 months, looking for 5 different competitions. That's what we're hoping for, October to January, for 10 people who go, I want to be pushed. I want to learn how to coach myself. I want to do the best work of my life. I want to go through the lens of I want the best work of my life to come through the lens of self-leadership and leadership of others and leaderships of my guests. And look, I started in this industry in 2001 because I wanted to impact as many people as I can. And at first it was only with the dancers. I selfishly designed this program based off of everything I do in the corporate world and things I'm doing in other competitions. I selfishly designed this to do the work I know I deserve to do and that I'm meant to do, which is helping more people in an industry that serves people, that more people feel gooder and do the most meaningful work of their life. Because when we do that, it drips to our staff. When we're the best version of ourselves, it drips to our staff drips to the audience, and our audience are not normal people. They're just not. They are future leaders themselves. And so I don't try to hide that this is the work I do, because this is what I'm here to do. And it's why I went into the industry to begin with. And the comp industry doesn't do this work nearly as much as I want this industry to do. So what I'm going to introduce to you here, of course, selfishly, again, I want you to do it with me. But the reason I want to show you this is maybe today's not the day to start this. I want you to figure out, well, then what is the next step for you? I want you to know what's available. You don't know what you don't know. And let's open up the window and see what the air outside looks like. So I want you to do this type of work, Accelerator program or not. The purpose of the whole retreat has been to show you how much opportunity you have on the table, how many pieces of your personal roller coaster and your professional roller coaster and your competitions roller coaster are still available to wow your guests and change the lives of your staff. So my goal is the Accelerator program is a wormhole. It's designed to get you from point A to point B faster. And everyone's point A and point B is different. So for those of you who might be going, isn't that interesting? Which many of you had mentioned in here. I've talked to my executive sponsor. I'm passing this forward to my executive sponsor. Or I'd like to do more. How would that look like? The retreat ends tomorrow. What should I do? I want you to know this exists. 4 months. And yes, so Shannon, this was built for the dance comp world, though we will have multiple cohorts next year, but it's built so that it ends when the season begins. October, November, December, and then January, you kick off. And over those 4 months, the 10 people will come together and there'll be a powerful 360 kickoff. And everyone mentioned their 360, and I didn't even tell them to talk about their 360 that you heard. That's where we go and we take 15 people from your professional life and we interview them or send them a survey, depending on the process. Then there's a 3-hour delivery where we introduce you to the feedback we heard on an anonymous level. And it's my and Erad's job to find the patterns, not the stories. To find the pattern so you can start going, oh, that's how I want to be seen. Let me do more of that. Or, oh my gosh, this whole time I was hiding behind this pen and I didn't think anyone saw me. And I don't want to have people see me like this. Summer and I talked about this at the after hours party yesterday. Sometimes we're like, well, I know that, but I think they know that. And then you go, oh, they knew it the whole time. And if you don't know what you don't know, you can't take action on it. And here's what's most important. You never leave. You never leave without a next step. So you create a growth plan that you enforce for yourself, your coach enforces for yourself, and whoever your executive sponsor is also holds you accountable for it as well. And if you say, well, I'm the executive sponsor, most executive sponsors use a partner, a spouse, or a family member or a confidant inside the business to be there, even if it's a direct report. There's core meetings with the community. monthly leadership groups where we talk about everything from leadership to guest experience to mindset. And we also talk about, well, what did I hear in my 360? Any thoughts you all have? So it's a bit of a mastermind group that occurs. And then you also have monthly one-on-one coaching with me or Erad. And then there's a monthly personalized interactive video podcast that I send that's for that group only based on the content that we've talked about. And this way you can see there's, okay, that's 3 different things that happen. One of them is a group, one of them is one-on-one, and one of them is at your own time. And I know you're all busy. Y'all have full calendars. But the additional things that are also there for you is lab partners, monthly accountability partners. We call them lab partners for leadership accountability buddies. We pair you up with at least 2 other people in the group so that you find the time that's right to be accountable to the growth plan you created in your 360. I'm always listening to podcasts. I've listened to so many, or books. I'm always going to throw you little 30-minute nibbles that if you choose to listen to them, you could listen to those. You also could, optionally, these are all optional at the bottom, reach out to your coach for a one-on-one 20-minute tap-in. Hey, this thing happened over the weekend. I want to debrief it. Or, hey, I'm about to go into a really complicated conversation. I'd like to debrief that with you. And then, of course, the community, to have access to the community, the members. Now, as I'm saying this, again, I want to do this with you, but if this isn't the time to work with me or Erad, I want you to look at this through the lens of how do you do it so you can keep pushing yourself. Don't go back and say, oh, I'll go back to my notebook of the competitive life retreat after blank. It won't happen because you'll have another thing on the other side. So I want to introduce you to, if you want to do this route, because from this industry, I know, number one, it's designed for your busy season. Meetings will be on a Wednesday. There'll be once a month, and everything else we customize to your calendar. It's flexible. We know you can't make every meeting. Carrie wasn't here yesterday, but is she going, well, I wasn't there yesterday, I'm not going to go there today? Are we mad at Carrie? No. Carrie's going to be able to catch up, figure out what she missed by reading here's what you missed email, and ask her other teammates, what did I miss? But what we'll always do is you will always have access to the recordings. We'll keep the recordings up for a month. So you get a month to watch the group recordings. Then we take it down because we're going to talk about some intimate things in the group. And you'll have access to those recordings 24/7 for a month if you miss it. Look, how often can you set aside 3 days like this during a workday? Not very often. So we're realistic commitments. All in, it's about an hour a week for approximately 4 months. And 1 hour as a group, 1 hour with your coach, and then your own commitment work that you do. So an hour a week, which is a lot during a season, as you're ramping up for a season, but you're building a wormhole so you can get more out of yourself. And then the other thing is, and this is what's most important, like we've been doing here, it's real life training. It's not a curriculum. We're going, what's showing up? Here's the tool. Let's apply it. Go do it in real time. For those of you who are owners, this part's for you. And for those of you that are not owners, you could share this with the owners of your competitions. We will meet with any one of the owners or your designated executive sponsor before the event, before the group starts, so that we just understand about their business and their goals, and also to just share any questions or concerns they might have. They will be part of the 360 feedback involvement unless they don't want to. So they'll be one of the voices that we will actually call and talk to them and get the feedback directly from them. We'll send them monthly dashboards so they know, so that it's not invisible to them. That's why we've been sending your executive sponsors an end of day summary each day, is so that they know, they see something tangible for something that in the coaching world is intangible. But we won't share anything without you knowing it. You'll always know what we're sharing. And then I will be creating a monthly executive sponsor video for all the executive sponsors. Say, here's where we are, here's where we're going, here's how you can support Ella, here's how you can support Dan, here's how you can support Molly, here's how you can support Lauren, here's how you can support one another. And just so you understand how it rolls out, there's 2 ways to do this. And again, many of you may have to go to an executive sponsor and be like, hey, I want you to introduce you to this idea. There's a we do it for you program, which is what I'm talking about, an accelerator program. But like StarQuest and Ash are currently doing it, we'll do it with you program, where we go into the company and we actually do it within the company. So we'll have 10 people or 10 people, around 10 people from your company going through this program, so they all level up together. And then there's 2 options. I've mentioned this before. One, where you get to be one-on-one with me. Now, that is only for owners and senior level individuals, people who have been at an executive level for a long time, because that's the level that I work at. And ERAD works with everyone, owners and senior level and emerging leaders and middle managers, or wherever you are in your career. And she's phenomenal. Very different kinds of coaches, as you've already seen. And ERAD's going to be doing a little coaching later as well.